for a discussion because we don't have a quorum yet. It's just make it a work session rather than calling the meeting to order.
Okay. So because we don't have a quorum, this will be a work section? And we have roll call.
Andrea Wood, present.
Steve Sheldon, present.
Lynn Pinkerton, present. Dawn and all right. So we'll have to wait for the minutes till next week. Business is to review and discuss the budget and the warrants. Discuss review budget work session with the selectmen. And the reminding regarding the state ethics test and expiration of present community term. Boy, I must have got a new mouth. Ooh.
Last week, this was the thing that you brought up as an addition, but
Right.
It wasn't able to be added, so I put it on for this week.
Right. And
Lynn, you froze.
I can't think of his name. What's his name? Bartlett? Andrea?
What, the moderator?
No.
What?
You know, our commissioner there for the finance committee.
Oh, yeah, John Barrett.
Barrett.
There it is, John Barrett. He would have to reinstate us. And then get sworn in again. So, but they're not here. Oh, wait a minute. Huh. Well, Andrea sent it. Did you get that one? No, you just have to use the very first one. Okay, dial-in number is wow. I never did it before, so
Are you using a cell phone?
yeah, are you using a cell phone or a regular phone? She's got an iPad too.
Okay, well, I don't know on an iPad, but on the cell phone, on the list of things, just press any one of the numbers, and
Okay.
it'll get you into Zoom.
If she has an iPad, she can just click the link as well. It still will work on an iPad. Whatever's easier.
Yep.
Yeah, she said that the string didn't work.
Did she use the one on the link on the calendar for the town calendar? Is the instant link on? The one on our agenda is not. You have to go through the whole schmear.
Yeah. Yeah, join meeting. Okay, ID number is 869 5393 9071. Yep. Hmm. Wow.
Is she entering the meeting ID, Lynn, right on the Zoom? If she goes into internet and just types in Zoom and then goes join the meeting, can she do that?
Yeah. Can you go on the computer?
Or iPad?
Okay. Use your iPad. Go into
Safari,
Safari or
whoever her internet is,
whatever your internet is.
and then search Zoom.
Put in Zoom.
Once that comes up, she should see a thing saying join a meeting.
Yeah. No, that's the ID. The passcode is 784182.
She's going to have to put in a meeting ID when it says it's going to ask her for a meeting ID and password.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There you are. You're in? Okay. Okay, where's Hartley? Jerry should be waiting to come in.
You don't see it? She said she went through.
Yeah. Well, she said she's in.
Yeah, I'm only seeing 4.
Yeah, just 4.
She didn't look at the. Oh no, because I know we have that meeting in April. We gave her you get. That was tonight. Okay, that's a different passcode.
Yep. Gave her the passcode. So where? Hey, Jerry, where are you? She's on the iPad. Oh, there she is. Hi. You can't get the sound on. But we don't see you in the meeting either. No.
Jerry Lynn,
No.
Lynn,
Yeah.
Ask Jerry Lynn if she can get up the Townsend website.
Oh, can you get on the Townsend website?
She has to go to the calendar, right, Andrea? It's on the calendar.
Yeah, to the calendar, and then to the 25th. And then she clicks on our agenda. And then there's a long Zoom line on there. If she just clicks on there, she'll be right here. And I know that works because it worked for me.
Okay.
There are a couple things you have to do, boxes that come up, but they're self-explanatory.
Okay. Let me know once you get on the website.
You remember that old commercial where Speedy Gonzalez went zooming around? If he'd taken as long as this, we never would have gotten tacos.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute. You're on my phone. So you can hear us, right?
I can.
Okay, because you're my quorum.
Oh, okay.
And then she can play around with the iPad while she's talking because I can hear her through your phone.
Yeah, I can too.
All right. We can hear Jerry and
I can hear you.
okay. So we got a quorum.
Okay.
So we did the roll call and we'll take Jerry off. Now the minutes. Did everybody get to? Oh, Dawn Hayes is here.
Hi, sorry I'm late. Work took me over.
That's okay.
And did Jerome make it in?
She didn't make it in. She's on my phone.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna forward it to her again. Because I realized I sent her April 8th, not 9th.
Oh, that's why she couldn't get in. So send her.
Yep.
Send her.
Yep.
So maybe we'll get to see you after all, Jerry. Okay, so we wanted to, I'm down to 1.4 minutes.
Good.
So did everybody get to review March 11th?
Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to review them. It's kind of.
Okay. Well, Dawn,
Yeah.
I did have you up to share too. So
Yeah.
could you share this spreadsheet?
I will go find it and share it. Sure.
Thank you. So while he's doing that,
Yeah.
next week, because this one's going to be a short meeting, next week I'd like to bring in COA and I think facilities to go over the budget. And then all we have is the library. And we have to finish all the small ones. Unless anybody else would like to bring somebody in.
You have questions for COA?
Can you see me now?
Let's see, where are you? Hartley?
Hmm.
Well, she's still on the phone, so we're still good.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, where'd I go? Now,
Oh, there you
okay, I'm in.
are. Yay.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up.
Okay.
All right. So we're just waiting for Dawn to put
Yeah.
up the spreadsheet.
I was going to say the last one I have is version 20. Is that still what we're working on?
I believe
Yes.
so. I have not seen a revised one.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. Okay. No. Share screen. Okay.
Lynn,
Okay.
No.
why don't you call the meeting to order at 5:26?
All right. I will call the meeting to order at 5:26.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry.
So looks like I am set up to share, and
Yeah.
you should all be seeing the current.
Yep.
Okay, so who do we want to look at?
Well, we left off at ACO last week.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, we did.
Okay, so I didn't make any, I didn't made any notes about where we ended, what line, but I thought we had gone through Board of Health, or is,
No, we haven't gone through that.
okay, yeah,
We went through the animal inspector, TEMA, ACO. The next one was the tree warden.
okay. Okay. So,
Are we there?
okay, so let me keep, sorry, it's kind of like keep 19. Put, okay, so we keep 19. We have maybe we want 21 too, I think.
Yeah.
Right, sorry. We had the expense, and then it was 2019 approved. Okay. Okay, sorry. It's kind of just getting it. Okay, so we have 19 approved, we have last year approved, and then this year.
Yep.
Looking at, okay, so it's all on one screen. We can see it. Does it need bigger?
I can see it. Anybody else?
I'm good.
Yep.
Okay, so go down to the tree warden.
Yeah, back to Warden again. Okay,
Yeah, tree warden.
there we go.
Okay. It looks like everything is the same. It didn't change.
Mm. And
I wonder why,
I don't see a note out here for Collins, so I don't know if that's,
that's a question we can
Mm.
ask.
I don't think the tree warden falls under that.
Well, it says non-union.
It says what?
non-union. You think it's just all per diem? He gets called when he's needed.
Well, I think I'm not really sure on that, but I think he's responsible for his own budget, but I don't think he has anything to do with the union. So I'm going to say this is probably his budget he's chosen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't think he has anything to do with the Collins. I think it's like the gas inspector and that type of same deal. Andrew, am I right or wrong?
I think you're right. He, or at least used to take care of town trees and like that. It's actually the biggest part of his budget is the rental of his equipment to do the job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so if there's no more questions, I'll have a motion.
I'll make a motion to pass the tree warden's budget.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Andrea Wood, aye.
Carolyn, I.
Don Hayes, aye.
Dave Sheldon, aye.
Lynn Pinkerton, aye. Okay, so that one's passed. We did that one and that one. Now, the landfill.
No.
Not the land use, the landfill energy. There was something they said Tuesday night. Yeah, landfill. There we go.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure whether there was a space or not. So, okay.
So Tuesday night, they discussed how they were able to, where you see the 715.5, I was able to stay or what they negotiated with Shaw. So instead of that increasing,
Right.
it stayed.
Yep.
No, because on the budget, the Shaw's is a separate line item. So it doesn't include Shaw's in this.
Yeah, it says curbside pickup. That's what, he referenced Shaw. He referenced Shaw Tuesday night about that. That's why that's highlighted.
Yeah.
He said they had a 3-year contract. This one would stay the same, and at the next 2 years it would go up by 2.5%.
Then what's total solid waste services?
To me, that waste service is oil,
Okay.
and
I mean, the total of 729 is the pickup, along with out on the landfill. We have to have the maintenance and the professional services. Isn't that the testing that has to be done on the closed portion of the landfill?
But I thought that came under landfill engineering.
Yep.
This isn't that paper thing that they bring in to get rid of all the paper, is it? You know what I'm talking about? You know how they have that company come in and they shred everything? Is that anything to do with this?
Oh, I don't know. I know that years ago, we recycled and all that stuff at the landfill, and they put in a telephone in that little building and all that stuff there. I didn't even know that the phone was still connected, nor did I know that the building as such, which is building, and I say that loosely, were even in use any longer.
Okay, so what's the difference in the price between the 2 years? How much is it? I can't see it.
Oh, well, last year it was 8,200. This year it's 8,200. In 2019 it was 91.
But in 21 it was, am I looking at the wrong thing? Oh, 8,200, I see it, I'm sorry. I guess I was looking below at the 715.5. What is that?
Okay, this is the curbside pickup from Shaw's. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what that is.
Well, if 21, oh, never mind. Okay, I see it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's 715.5 in 21, and then the 715.5 for 22. That's Shaw. They talked
Right.
about that Tuesday night. So Jim had said that it was good news, and that's why it's highlighted that it didn't go up.
Yeah.
Right.
It didn't go up this year, right?
Right.
It's gonna go up next year.
Yeah.
Right.
In 23, it will go up, but not for 22.
Okay, yep.
But though it's not a lot of money, certainly, I don't know what the other four things are for. Because the recycling that we do, taking metals and TV sets and couches and stuff, you pay to have those deposited, and that's supposed to pay those costs. So if that has to do with that, we're funding something we're not supposed to be funding.
Don, can you explain that sheet to find out, to drill it down? Does the cell automatically go to where the backup to that or not?
It's only saying it's equal to this guy. It's kind of like, and this is equal to N. So
All right, so it doesn't link to the backup. You know how you can look at
it does not. This doesn't link to the packet, and the other one. Some of the other links are to local on Jim's drive, so I can't get to them either.
All right, so that's what he put up the other night. You know how he could drill down and see, like we would if we had what Jim has, we would be able to see what that 8,200 actually encompasses, what that is. But we don't have that on. Okay, I thought we did.
I don't think we have.
Not it on none of the tabs below.
Yeah. Let me. I was going to look for revenue. It's kind of like should there be something on the revenues for where that money comes in?
Well, that's money going out.
That's money going out, but to Andrea's point, we should be getting receipts when we pay to have items. When we go out and pay to recycle items and they take them in, there's money coming in with that. So I think that was the question is. We should have money coming in from the payments we as taxpayers make when we bring things up to the recycling. If that expenditure is 8,200 for getting people to come in and take when the dumpsters are full.
I see. Thought we had an I guess we don't have any. I'm trying to look on mine, but I don't. An exploded here either.
Yeah.
So how many people work up there anyway? At the landfill?
I think it's 2 or 3, and then they have volunteers also manning it.
Yeah.
And how often is that open?
Every other Saturday, I believe.
Yeah. And the price you pay to have the thing recycled is what it costs them to have it recycled. So they're not making a profit; they're just covering their costs.
Right. Yep.
They're not making a profit. Does that? I don't know. Does that make sense?
Well, no, but it doesn't cost us anything either, I think. But that's why I don't understand everybody. Energy, $3,000 is not a lot of money.
No, I know it isn't.
But everybody has a cell phone, or most everybody. Why are we paying for a phone up there?
I don't know.
Is there a message on that phone?
Oh, I don't know.
I
like-
don't know either.
Like we're open so many days or something like that.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. People call in to check and see.
Why don't we? I thought that when I talked to Jim the other day, I thought he was coming to tonight's meeting. Obviously, something has come up because he isn't here, and I can well understand that.
Yeah.
But maybe we should make a note and ask some of these questions just so we know. Wait and see.
So Jim Smith? Is that right?
No, Jim
Jim-
Kreidler.
Oh, Jim Kreidler. Okay. Yeah. So who's in charge of the landfill?
Board of Health.
Oh, Board of Health. Okay. And do they get receipts when they?
Well, yes, off and on.
I mean, I don't know much about the landfill. I've never used it, but I don't know.
Well, that was the one question before, was people were giving money and then we didn't see anything come in.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, I didn't look to see if the Board of Health had a. I think when I write a check, I only make it to Town of Townsend. I don't think there's anything specific in regards to
Where it goes or
where it
anything.
goes.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised because all checks and all income like that has to go through the treasurer.
Right.
You know, even if it's made out to the Board of Health, it really doesn't go to the Board of Health. It goes to the treasurer.
Town of Townsend, yeah.
There was a discussion at a Board of Selectmen meeting not too long ago regarding the landfill of how are they tracking that money? If everybody remembers. Remember that was like a couple months ago?
Mm-hmm.
I
I
thought
think
that
I
was
did for that.
last year. I mean, we went through the same thing. And I thought somebody was going to look into it and find out what they're doing.
Hello, anybody there?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. It seems like this has been going on for a few years, that we get to this particular budget and we're not sure what's really happening. I mean, I know it's not a huge budget, but
Yeah.
well, I don't know.
It's not a huge budget, but in a town as small as this,
Exactly.
$3,000 has a far greater impact than it would on Boston or
Right.
Springfield or somewhere like that.
Right.
So when it says 3,000 for repair and maintain landfill building.
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so let me unhide in here, and then we can look and see. So they put 3,000 in, and they've used almost 2,000 of it. So,
And of course, the energy, that's got to be for lighting.
yeah, and heating it because you got to,
Right.
and
Right.
there's probably water in the building, so they gotta keep it to a level so that it doesn't freeze.
So
I don't think there's one. I
No, okay, could be, yeah, but
think it's more basic than that.
I wonder if it is. I wonder if that's what it is paying for that little portable facility.
Yeah.
Could be.
okay, do we have any more questions on this one? Because I think we're gonna put that one on hold.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah.
can you put those in red, Dawn?
Oh, the cells.
No, our questions.
Sure. Yeah.
So it'll show up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna put that on hold until we get some answers.
Do you want a motion to put it on hold, or are you just going to put it on hold? It doesn't matter. Just want to know
I'm
what
just
to
gonna
write.
put it on hold because
Okay.
we have questions. Okay, the next one was THA. You have to go over to the other side so I can see.
Yeah. I will get there because I wanted to put the professional services in here too.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, one too many. We'll hide what they spent so far. We can always bring that back in. Okay.
Mm-hmm. THA, what the heck? I took it off the chart. Well, as long as cemetery and parks are right there,
Mm-hmm.
we did have that one on hold. And he went over it on Tuesday.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was nothing outrageously standing out on that, was there?
No, it's just they took out the porta potties and they still having a question with Collins.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. Well, that Collins thing could go on for a while.
Yeah, that's everywhere with different positions. Some people get a small portion, other people
Get a bigger one.
bigger one.
Yeah.
All right. So do we still want to leave this open?
Well, we can leave it open as subject to Collins, but I mean, what about everything else? Can everything else just, I don't know. How does everybody else feel about it?
Well, Jim said that Collins and accepting the Collins plan is the way to fund the raises
Yeah,
the people are going to get, rather than a bucket article, which nobody seemed to like when it was done that way before. So I don't know if this will ever, until they get the salary issues resolved, who knows what will happen. I don't expect this is going to be resolved until either right before or maybe even after town meeting. I don't know what they're.
Yeah.
I'm kind of iffy on this whole part. the providing salary part of this whole budget. I
Yeah,
just don't. I'm not comfortable.
Hmm.
I'm not either. I don't know, anything that has Collins side of it, it's hard to pass a budget with, because we just don't know what it's going to be. And how do you pass a budget and you don't know?
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you feel about it, Steve?
I think remember him saying it's a $75,000 swing, right? With or without, without Collins, if I remember. So, I mean, right now, just, and I apologize, I haven't been on a few meetings with things that have happened, but, I was on the Board of Selectmen meeting on Tuesday night, and I'm not comfortable about a lot of things, and I brought up just before this meeting, even the overtime with public safety. I don't see how that, they seem to have a plan how it's going to come down next year, but I honestly don't see that happening. And then add this Collins in. I just don't know how we're going to balance, but it's hard to pass a budget after the fact when I agree. I don't think this Collins Center is going to be resolved by town meeting.
When it comes to town meeting, and I don't think the figures are in place, I don't know how we can support. I really don't.
Were you on that meeting on Tuesday night? I'm not sure if you were or not.
I wasn't. No, I'm sorry.
No,
I was there.
You were there. So you heard my question, and I know, not that I want to go back to public safety, but you heard my question with the overtime in the public safety. That's over $100 and some odd $1,000 plus.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're going to, again, I deal with payroll. I just think of it's just.
Yeah, because we're right back to last year when he came in and said that, okay, he was going to switch everything and that he had some police that were already in the academy. And so they were just waiting for him to come out and that they would be at full staff.
Well, does that do away with the overtime budget?
No.
I don't think it's going to. Like, looking through the budget, and I was looking through it today, off and on, like the smaller departments, like Cemetery Park, I mean, that's all fine. We're talking small money. You know what I mean? That's, that could be blown through unless something, but
Right.
you're looking at, as we talk about the big three. And I just, from what we've spent this year to date, and how many more months we got left? 4 months, 3 months out of the fiscal year. And, when you have the fire department or the police department, I got to go back up and look, budget for $27,000 in overtime and come in at $97,000. That's, so far year to date. I just don't see how that how you budget again for $27,000, for the next year when it was spent.
When it was already.
Yeah, I think it's under the fire department, Dawn. I think it was the fire department that was the worst. I don't want to say worst as in being negative.
It was the bigger, it was the bigger amount.
The bigger one.
Right. So if you look at,
At the meeting too, Jim said, except for the police, that he was only $10,000 out from a balanced budget. But near the end of the meeting, they were throwing that thing around about taking so many hours from this place and putting it here, and from this place and putting it there to afford other personnel. And I called Jim and I said, if what was presented at the selectmen's meeting goes through, how much further in the hole today are we now without the police? And he said at least 24,000.
all right, but so up here, you see where it says per diem requested. So they're thinking they're going to be able to raise the hourly for the per diem staff. But that doesn't guarantee you're going to get more people. That just, you're going to pay people more if you get them. But if you look at down to line 361, we've spent year to date $96,000 on a budget of $27,000, and then next year they turned around and budgeted again for $27,000. That makes, and I get that they're thinking, well, we'll just get more people. And well, because of COVID, we had to pay more overtime, which I get that, but we're still not out of the woods. And I just think that's an a non-realistic number. And then you go down to fire EMS additional gross overtime EMS operator budgeted for 84. They're at 68,000 when they're budgeting for 84 again. So when we go this time next year, with my camera, and we're going to start looking at this, are we going to be in the same situation? That's why I keep saying, are we budgeting? It's great that we want to plug a number in to give a balanced budget, but is it really a realistic number where we're going to sit here next year at this time going, well, we overspent that by, $60,000.
And at the meeting, they also brought up the fact that Karen Hill brought up the fact that if you cut the agent, the conservation agent, and the conservation admin person, then to like 15 hours, how are you going to hire somebody? Nobody can afford to work for 15 hours.
Well, that's right.
Yeah. And the problem then becomes, we raise that money, we set it aside, and even though we don't spend it, it's tied up for the entire year. We can't spend it somewhere else unless you have another town meeting and vote it out and put it somewhere else. I think in May you can take some of it, but that's right at the end of the fiscal year, and I believe, like Steve says, we're likely to be in trouble way before the end of the year.
The way it's going, we are. And so, and Andrea and everybody else, you're a lot smarter than I am when it comes to, and I don't remember, at the end of the year when we've blown budgets, we have to pay for it somehow. I look at it as, where's the money coming from?
Yeah.
I mean, I could plug numbers in all day long to make a balanced budget, anything to come out. I mean, I could do that in about an hour, but is it realistic?
Plus, the other thing you have to remember is that we have to use recurring funds like tax dollars,
right,
to pay the operating budget. Our free cash or available funds are for one-time expenses, and we got less than $200,000 back from the state this year.
Yeah.
right.
We are in big trouble if nowhere else than there. I don't know how we're going to afford half of that's less. We got less back from we're scheduled to get less back from the state than we usually use to fund the capital planning committee.
Now, I know there's money coming in, a little over 2-point-something million, but that has to be earmarked for certain things. That's not going to just make up for a budget.
Yeah.
But how can they, like he pointed out, additional gross, that's overtime. We budgeted 27,000 and they've spent 96.
Right. That's what I brought up Tuesday night when they said, oh, well, this looks good. I'm like, well, no, it doesn't. You're spending, I think it was the police budget when I said you're spending an average of $14,000 a month.
Right.
But if we look at the regular operating staff line, I think what's happening is they're making it up on overtime and they don't have a full staff. Because here, you've got 234 budgeted. So if we're looking at the bottom line, they're within an operating target to expend that for the full year. But it looks like we're paying overtime and really hitting up the overtime because we're not hitting the regular wages.
Brought up that, well, we raise it to attract more. There's no guarantee you're going to want people.
Right. Yeah.
On the fire department, you have to remember too that they have, I don't know, 4 full-time employees, 3 or 4 full-time employees. And the bulk, the big money for salaries of for on-call firemen. So they can
Mhm.
take money from there. But that still may end you up in a bind in the end.
Yeah.
I don't. Lynn, how long can this meeting be?
6:45.
Okay.
So it's 6 o'clock now.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Hmm.
let me just,
Okay, do we want to go back to where we were before this overtime discussion?
Were we going back to cemetery and parks?
We were, yeah. It's where we were when we jumped to the overtime and fire. Yeah.
My fault. It was just sticking in my
No,
head the
no.
entire time.
They're perfectly good. My questions come in on the other side. We're balancing the budget on a couple of one-time items, like 1 month holiday for insurance, and so next year we're going to get killed with that too. That's going to be a much bigger line item than it is this year because of it.
And I believe the schools have cut a lot, but I think that's going to come back to bite us next year too.
Exactly, those two. So if we're balancing a budget based on two big give backs like that, it's kind of like we can't afford it if they were full this year, we couldn't afford it. And it's kind of like, so it's gonna be a budget buster next year when we get to it.
And I don't see the schools conceding next year because all the kids are going back as of April 5th. They're going to go back come the fall unless something drastic happens, and the schools are going to say we're open, and it is what it is. And to your point, Dawn, exactly, that's in any of your and everybody else, that's what it's going to be. And then we're going to be more in the hole, and that one-time holiday for, what's that, 75,000 or something? About
70 to 75, somewhere in
something
there.
like that. Well, that's great for this year, but next year there's no way to make up for it. So I agree with you, and my apologies for going back to the overtime. I just like dealing with realistic numbers. I'd rather budget for what reality is based on trying to plug numbers in to make it work.
so my thing is, I wish they could actually say whether, I think Jim said that some of the union stuff was in, but whether they're gonna use Collins or not.
Well, I think the Board of Selectmen made it clear that they want to use Collins because he kept referencing it.
Right, it's right on top there too. It says Collins.
And Jim did all those other different,
Scenarios.
yeah,
Oh, if we do Collins plus a step, and then
Yeah.
the selectmen wanted to do a 2.5 on top of it.
right. Well, the thing is, I know Veronica wants to make sure that everybody gets a raise, but if we can't raise the money,
Mhm.
how are you going to do it?
Yep. And then again, that just increases what you're paying. You take this year, you add it in, and then you're doing an increase on top of that with the steps next year.
Yes. And plus, the other thing is, remember, on the steps, the people who got less than 2% in their step, now they kicked them up an extra step. So they got 2.5 or 2 plus. So
So
some
they got-
people got more than 2% of a raise this year. which doesn't seem equitable to me at all.
Well, what's tough is that the person at the top gets the most money and the person at the bottom who needs the money gets very little. Even with the 2.5.
Well, yeah, but with Collins, they would get more.
Well, with Collins, are they getting more with the administration part, or are they getting it for the workers? Is it the workers too, or just union members?
I expect that the union members, Collins or no Collins, the unions will close with a raise of some sort for their people. All the unions. Remember, there are only 4 or 5, other than personal contracts, 4 or 5 people who aren't unionized in town. The bulk of our employees are unionized now.
Right.
So one way or the other, they're going to get a raise this year. You know, you can kind of bet your bottom dollar on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's kind of hard to give a raise when you don't have any money.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No.
Well, see, that's one of the things that I'm afraid of. We have a stabilization fund, which has money in it. It should be used for emergencies, one-time purchases and all.
Right.
If we start tapping that sort of thing, as Pepperell did several years ago, and as New York City did, you just stepped on the road to bankruptcy.
Right.
We cannot do that. No matter what's suggested, we cannot support that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. So wages is always going to be an issue right now.
Yeah.
Until they decide exactly which way they're going.
Wages is going to be an issue forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which one do you have up there? Oh, cemetery.
This is still cemetery. Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
like. So if we want to move housing authority was next on the, because I think we were saying we're going to hold cemetery.
Well, it was on hold. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what part of cemetery was on hold? I probably missed this. The Collins thing.
well,
Tell me, or
porta potties, and then housing was repair maintenance.
get up to all of it.
I think we went over all the others, and it was
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
so it's just the salaries really as a
Yeah, the budgets look good, but the salaries are tough.
yeah, the salaries for an overall budget are we're concerned with. Especially like Andrea said and Jim said, if you get a raise and you're not up to the 2%, then they're going to kick you up to the next step, you know, so that you get a raise. So that's more money.
So that's almost a 3% raise rather than 2.
Yeah.
3, 4, 9. How much money do we have in not free? Is it free cash? Free cash? Do we know?
Altogether, I don't know. I don't. I think I knew, but I don't remember.
Well,
Yeah, that might be good revenue projections.
Yeah. See if it's in there.
is there there any way of adding up all the raises that everybody wants above and beyond what they're making now, and we can take a look at that? I mean, an estimated guess, even though Collins is involved.
We could ask Jim to do that, but that again, now you're treading on that bucket list thing
Oh, I
that
know.
everybody so disliked.
Right.
I didn't dislike it, but everybody else seemed to.
Yeah, it was a magic bucket. Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you going to exclude people in the contract that have contractual raises, or that have contracts and they have raises built into the contracts?
I don't
Or do
know.
you want to see that as a separate line also?
Well, it
Because if
could-
it's in a contract, we gotta pay it.
Yeah. Well, if the contract is accepted. Now, most contracts are for 3 years.
Yeah.
If it's not accepted in the first year, it goes back to the table. If accepted in the first year, you're stuck with the second and third years.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, let's see if we can
Okay.
cross off some of these others.
Okay, is cemetery on hold then?
Yes,
Okay.
I put that on hold. Let's go to the flag committee.
How about the housing authority? We skipped that one. How come?
No, we're gonna get back to it.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, flag committee.
I thought Jim said they gave back their whole thing because they got enough in contributions.
And he did that Tuesday night.
Yeah, that was Tuesday night, so
Yep.
we still have to, you know,
We have to accept it.
so now we need a motion for the flag committee.
To give their money back.
Well, no,
Right.
just the
Just-
budget. I mean, they gave it back to us, so there is no budget.
Yeah.
For them, so do we
Yeah.
still gotta say okay? Because there's no budget.
It's okay with me.
Oh,
Andrea?
I move that we accept the flag committee's non-budget as submitted.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Geraldine, yes.
Steve Sheldon, yes.
Andrea Wood, yes.
Don Hayes, aye.
Lynn, yes. Okay, so that one's done. Memorial and band concert, I think is right, should be right there. Yeah, right above.
Ah, okay. I didn't see the number. Okay.
So that's what we had. That's what they get is, how much is it?
18.9.
Wow.
Yeah,
But
It surprises me because I know when we were on the band concert thing in Pepperell, we had to raise our own money to do it.
Yep.
So I'm really shocked at that amount of money. I'm sorry. I don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers, but
it was budgeted this year. We expended nothing. Does
Yeah.
that mean it goes back to the general budget and we're just reallocating the same money again
Yes,
to it?
yes. If nothing was spent, it will just go back at the end of the
Yeah.
fiscal year.
can you just go up a little bit, Don?
Yep.
There.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know why that's strange. I didn't see that earlier. Okay. Yeah. So this is the price per to get to the total of 18.9. Okay.
Right. And it looks like it's yeah, just like before, so
Mm,
it only went up like $50.
But if it's going back into the general fund because nothing was spent
Yeah.
because of COVID and
Right.
not being able to gather in groups, why then maybe we should fund it just because, in a way, we're funding last year. You know, they've never spent it. So,
So if I mean, if they open it, they're going to have it this summer.
Right.
unless we have a big outbreak again, yes, I would like to think COVID would be over by the summer as well, but you never know.
Well, it still would go back into
How many concerts does she have?
10? I think there are 10 of them. I'm not positive. I don't.
Yeah. Let's see if we can find it quick. I'm just going to do a quick, if you're okay with it, break and see if we can find it.
Oh, they start in June. Okay.
yeah.
That goes all the way home again.
Well, I suppose they create for other committees and other, you know, to raise money. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I don't. Let's see. If we go to calendar.
I saw that it started July on June 12th or something like that.
Yep. No. Okay. I thought maybe they'd have them in here. Nothing yet.
No. Well, maybe she hasn't planned it yet. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I got it. Okay.
I think the town probably, I mean, the town loves it, so I don't know.
Yeah. But again, it's kind of like going into this year. I don't know that they'll be able to start in June. And Memorial Day parade, are we able to have it yet? It is outdoors, so we probably have the opportunity.
Any questions on this one? Or discussions? Okay, can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept her budget. The band budget.
I'll second.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay, now can you hear me?
We have you now. Yep.
All right. So was there any questions or concerns on this one?
No, we did have a motion to accept by Geraldine and a second by Andrea
Okay,
to
that
accept it as
I didn't hear because I was frozen.
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
Andrea, aye.
Lynn, aye.
Dawn, aye.
I already voted aye, Geraldine.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah.
Steve? Are you still with us? All right. The next one I have is the veterans agent. So,
Did that go down? I don't know.
no.
No, it's same as 20. He's the only
Oh,
level
right.
one. Yeah.
Okay.
You want the expended to date hidden again for a little bit, just in case, so we can see them.
Yeah.
I with if COVID is over reasonably soon, then I'm okay with this budget. But it would seem to me that more might be needed, if not veteran services. One of the things with veteran services, the money we pay out, we get back 75%. If we cannot fund, and you remember, well, Steve, you weren't on the committee, however, nor you, Don, but some years they took our entire reserve fund to fund the veterans agent because if you miss one of the payments, then the state will pay it, but you will get none of your money in return.
That was a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago. I remember that.
Yeah. That's why we upped it to 75.
So I hope I'll make a motion to accept the veteran service budget.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Dawn, aye.
Geraldine, aye.
Andrea, aye.
Lynn, aye. Okay, that takes care of that one. Now, before we go on to the next one, what I want to bring up is we still have the library, the COA, and facilities. Those are our big ones. And
We've never done the Board of Selectmen either.
right, but we did talk about it.
Right.
So
I have a problem with it because, and there was a controversy at the last selectmen's meeting on whether they want a webmaster and whether to give it as something to someone as an additional duty with a stipend or to hire somebody to do it, seems to be the question. So I can understand how the webpage needs updating and all, but again, I'm concerned about the money, and if you give it to an hire somebody to do it, what if you can't hire somebody? And I don't know, I don't believe at least that town employees have to take something that you just want to foist off on them.
Well, it's not in their job description. They don't have to.
That's what I would think.
yeah,
It has a stipend of $6,000 anyway. I think maybe the maybe not next week, but sometime there's that lurking out there. There's some potential discussion there, I think, in the Board of Selectmen's budget.
How much time do you think that would take to do that type of job? I'm not interested, but how much time do you think it would take?
It depends on what we're asking them to do. It's kind of like,
Is it just updating things that are done and take things that are 6 months off, or what is it?
It's to update the actual Townsend website there.
But by the same token, if the Board of Health wanted you to put in all their bylaws and their restrictions and their recycling rules and everything else, they could ask you to do it. And I suppose that would, quote unquote, update the website.
Yeah. So it's all depends on what you put in there to define what you mean by, webmaster.
Yeah, and they were going to have to go over it and come up with what they were responsible for.
That sounds like a whole new job to me because, I don't know.
Well, either that or they were, because each department should go in to the website and make sure that their information is correct.
Or does that mean they give the webmaster that information?
Right. Then they would make sure it's all done. But we can take that up with the Board of Selectmen again. So we still have a question on that. But before our time is up, what I wanted to go over Hello?
Yep. I got you now.
You got me now. Okay, do we want to bring in anybody next week from those three? I'd like to bring in COA. I want to know what their reorg is for 20,000. Jerry or Andrea?
It's all right with me to bring them in.
Yeah, it's okay with me. I have no questions particularly.
Okay. And the library or facilities?
Yeah. Well, now, maybe facilities first.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotcha. Okay. So, Andrea, can you invite Karen and I think his name is Rob.
Name is Rob.
Yep. For facilities to come in next week?
Yes.
Now, are you going to give them an assigned time for them to come in? How long do we have for next week's meeting?
Well, I'm going to put in for a 5 to 9.
Well,
wow.
didn't Hartley already send us
Oh, I think he did.
two
That was
scheduled
for
Zooms?
That was for April 8th.
Oh,
Yeah, I need to put one in for the 1st.
He sent two though. What was the first one for?
That was for our meeting on Tuesday.
For Tuesday?
Yeah, remember
With the
we had
selectmen?
Board of Selectmen meeting?
This Tuesday?
No, last Tuesday.
No. Yes, I agree with you. I thought he sent two after that.
Well, there was tonight, and then he sent me the one for April 8th.
All right. I guess I just got the lineup wrong in my mind then. I'm sorry.
That's all right. So, okay, I wanted to get that in before we go over our time. We also have on hold the electrician inspector, land use for wages, and well, the park and cemeteries on hold.
Well, those at least two. Cemeteries as well. Also, all three of the ones you just listed. Those we don't really need those people to come in. There is no one in land use, so
Right.
we'll have to get the answers from Jim.
Right. Correct.
So anytime he attends, we can get those answers.
did
Right.
you say 5 to 9? That's a long time.
I'm just putting it in there.
Yeah, I was going to say it was master plan tonight, so you shouldn't. I don't think you'll have that, but somebody else may try to schedule a meeting other than that.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we have enough time. Doesn't mean we're going to use all of it.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's get back on track.
Yeah.
Now that landfill that we had, was that the same landfill energy? That must be the same one.
No, landfill.
Landfill has an energy. So in this line, that's all of it. I mean, there is a landfill energy. I'm assuming that's we're talking about the building.
Okay, so that's what we already went through that. All right. What about recreation department? So they're asking for a new person.
Yeah.
In clothing and longevity. Supplies.
Is she asking for a new person or
Yeah.
for summer help?
Yeah, well, it says recreation support staff. It wasn't budgeted in the 19, and now it is.
Yeah, I think she wants. The director is very, very busy, but remember, we still have. She's producing programs and things like that, but we're still under COVID, so they're not bringing any money in for their summer programs at all. They've not brought any in, but I don't know if they spent it and could take it over from years previous or whatever. But she wants that person funded all year long, where before Emmy's salary, as well as the director, et cetera, was funded from the proceeds from the summer program. Now, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we voted to give the department head, recreation department head, a salary, and now she wants a support staff to help her with a load of work. There is a load of work, but I don't think this is time to bring on new people.
Is that a full-time person or a part-time person?
I'd say from the amount, it must be a part-time, very part-time person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So you want, no, see, it gets tricky because then we're going into, this would start July 1st
mhm.
and go to next July, next June. And see, we just don't know where this COVID's going, so,
Well, that's the key factor.
right.
Yep.
So, do we feel that right now isn't a good time to bring on a new person?
Well, I would think that if I wanted to bring on a person, it might be this time of year because of summer coming up and playground events. I might not be so tuned into it maybe when the kids go back to school. But then I don't know if she has does she have a large after school program or, I really don't know.
She does have a large after-school program at Rec Center. It's smaller immediately now, I think probably because of COVID. But
Right.
before COVID, it gave the kids a good outlet. It was a very valuable program. The one thing on the part-time person too, we have to remember, is it will depend on how many hours.
Okay.
Right.
Because if it's part-time,
Yeah, we gotta find out if it's over or under 20.
Well, we can't afford to pay any more insurances, so it would have to be probably 19 hours or something like that. I don't know.
Right.
Is that where the break is, at 19 hours that you have to pay, or what is it?
yes, it's at
20 you have to pay.
Yeah, well, we can't
But-
afford to pay insurance.
the other thing is that if she's going to put in a new employee, we should have a job description so that we know what they do and
What are hours?
yeah,
So we
keep
could
the hours
ask
reasonable.
All right.
could
So
ask her to come in.
those questions for Jim. It's like, okay, what are the hours?
Yep.
And
And
a job description.
a job description.
Yeah, because I don't think anybody really should be hired anymore without a true job description. I think in the past we made not a few mistakes, but we could have been a little bit neater about what we did.
Yeah. Okay, so then until we get that answered, I'm gonna put that on hold. There, veterans. Now we go on to Mishover Associates, which is the Board of Health, all there.
They're very valuable. They do all the septic permitting and all the technical stuff that the Board of Health itself is not skilled to do. That's a marvelous service.
Mishover?
Yes.
Okay. Yep, the nursing, yep. Yep,
Mm.
yep.
And that only went up like, what, $2,000? Am I looking at the right place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really quibble, but I know that they're very important. I don't know if we should quibble about $2,000 or not.
No?
I mean, I know it's a lot of money, but they do a lot.
Well, we need them.
Well, that's exactly right.
Yeah, we need them. So,
We couldn't hire those services out for those prices.
Absolutely not.
right. So any other questions or concerns?
Do we just, you want to make a motion on that? You want a motion on that?
Yes, I do.
I'll make a motion on the Board of Health budget to pass.
Well, that one's on the show, but we still got the other one. Who's going to second that?
I will.
Okay. And all in favor?
Geraldine, yes.
Andrea, yes.
Don, aye.
Lynn, aye. Okay.
Did we lose Steve along the way?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
But we still have a quorum, right?
Yes, we do.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so where is the Board of Health? Who is right above it?
Total Board of Health, yeah.
Yeah. So the Board of Health. That actually went down.
What line went down? Oh,
So wait, do we have a new?
new person. Oh, wait a minute. Communications went down too.
Same as last year, but
Oh, yeah. Okay.
it's because they put $200 in the landfill
All right.
communications.
Yeah.
I forgot about them.
On the Board of Health, even though the Collins Center recommended 39, I can't believe, from what they've said, everybody's to get a 2% raise. So even though Collins Center recommended that amount, I don't think that's the amount that will that the Board of Selectmen are recommending for this position.
Well, if I understood it right, he puts Collins Center over there, but I don't think those are the figures for the Collins Center.
The first two aren't, but I thought the 39 was their recommendation on what the position was worth.
So it went down?
They said it's worth that, but I can't believe the selectmen said raises for everybody. So I can't believe that's the proper figure there.
Yeah.
Now, is that another question for Jim, right?
Yes.
So Dawn, can you put that in red?
Red.
Red.
Okay. Just one.
Yeah, see.
Any chance did they reduce the hours they're working? And drop it?
There's only one person, and I don't believe they have reduced the hours.
Okay. I'm just
Oh yes, I know.
just trying to find an answer.
Yeah.
Just, pick up the rock and see if there's anything new.
If we're lucky, you'll find salamanders.
Okay, so that one's on hold, and
Yeah.
just go to the one above it.
Um,
The total housing authority.
okay. So, yeah. So there's the whole housing authority
Right.
budget.
Did it change? I can't see.
7,200 last year, so it's up by about 331.
Which is about what the raise is.
It's got to be all there. 331. Yep.
Yeah. So what do we?
One thing I'd like to know is we pay for, if you use your vehicle to do things, there's a formula. You pay from the door of town hall to where you're going back. There's so much for gasoline, wear and tear on the car. It was 61 cents. I think it got down to 58. I'm not sure what it is now. I'd like to know if the money for in-state travel is $200, is just flat. You get $200 for travel, or are they just guessing on mileage by the program and think it won't come to more than $200?
So can you unhide that?
Yep. So Hartley just sent. We're at time. He'd like us to try to wrap. So nothing on that line item so far this year.
So just write that in on that line.
Yeah.
And we'll put this one on hold too. That'll be it for us.
Yep.
I make a motion that we adjourn at 6:46.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye. Geraldine.
Andrea, aye.
Lynn, aye.
Dawn, aye. Sorry.
But you might have stay a little longer, Dawn.
Yeah.
I know. It's gonna like.
So I'm going to put in for another meeting for next Thursday. And Andrea, if you can ask COA to come in at 5:15 and facilities at 6.
Okay.
All right, everybody have a good night.